Right, school trips to outdoor residential sites have been banned since March, meaning many education centres are concerned about their future. Mount Cook Adventure Centre near Wirksworth has come together with other centres across the country to launch a campaign called Save Outdoor Ed. They're hoping that they'll soon be able to open so they can allow school children to come and enjoy the outdoors and residential activities. Steve Turner is the CEO of Mount Cook Adventure Centre. Steve, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's been a tough year, hasn't it?
It's been terrible, yes. We've obviously, along with the rest of the country, we've had the restrictions of COVID-19, but for our sector in particular, we haven't been able to open to our main client group, which is school children.
So talk us through, for those who maybe have never had any dealings with Mount Cook Adventure Centre and other centres like it, talk me through what you offer.
So we're a relatively new outdoor centre, and we provide outdoor adventurous activities and outdoor educational opportunities primarily for school-aged children. And we've got 180 beds that are available here. Children usually come on a 2-night or a 4-night stay. They're able to access bushcraft, they're able to do things like ropes course, climbing, abseiling, that sort of thing. And this is a fairly typical experience that children who are transitioning from primary school and about to go to secondary school, quite often they have that residential away from home experience at the end of primary school. And up and down the country, literally tens of thousands of children do this each year and have a fantastic time. And obviously, with COVID, there was a ban on that type of trip. And what we're frustrated with is that as schools have reopened, that the ban on residential trips has continued.
Yeah, which is massively disappointing, because I guess you were feeling hopeful that once schools were returning, that maybe, because you would be obviously covering and dealing with those tough restrictions and making sure all the safety measures were in place, why not have them back?
Exactly, because we've seen instances where through the summer period, actually families and individuals were able to undertake overnight trips and to take, if they wanted to, they could go and stay at an outdoor centre, but the ban has remained on school trips. And this is particularly frustrating when we've heard the Professor Chris Whitty has argued strongly that children are disadvantaged if they're not attending school, and disadvantaged children are even further hindered. They've established that schools are low risk. Children do get COVID or can catch COVID, but it's much less severe from a health perspective, and the chance or the risk of further complications is extremely low. And on that basis, they have allowed schools to return. We feel as a sector, as an outdoor education sector, that we've put in place measures such as distancing and reduced capacity, etc., which would allow children and young people to come back now safely to be able to take advantage of all the activities, promote positive mental well-being, where by our very nature, children and young people will be outside partaking in activities most of the time, so that again the risk and the likelihood of COVID transmission is extremely low. So with all those factors in mind, we're just frustrated that as a sector we seem to have been forgotten.
And even though the request has been put forward and the campaign has been put on to say, the importance of places like yours for children to be out of the school setting, learning outdoors, I mean, all the obvious things for your mental health and well-being. But the Secretary of State has basically said, no, not for now. It will remain closed until February for now, is the reevaluation?
That's correct, yeah. So we've had a tentative we can discuss a roadmap for an April reopening. They will review it in February, but realistically, it looks like, along with the rest of the country, we seem to have been told that it will be April. That will be a full 12 months of closure, and we will lose, I'm afraid, some outdoor centres because of this. They won't be able to survive. Whilst support schemes like furlough is really helpful, centres like these do have running costs which are quite high, even if you've not got anybody in them. So as a sector, I think you will see some of them close, and the loss of that opportunity for children, which just seems incredibly sad. So hence the campaign. We want people to keep it in the media, hashtag Save Outdoor Ed. If they can promote the images that we're putting out there and the messages, that would be great.
Why are outdoor residentials so important for children when they're at school? I mean, I'm asking this question, Steve, as a mum of two boys who experienced Whitehall. They went to Lee Green. I remember being at school and going to Lee Green residentials. I mean, they are, for generations, they have been a big part of school children's lives. Why are they so important?
I think they form fantastic memories for children. They're often that first trip away from the family unit. It's the first chance that they have, I suppose, that opportunity to gain their identity, to gain some independence. They get fantastic chances to experience new activities, which takes them out of their comfort zone. And it is that transition in their life where they're going from being, I suppose, a primary age child into that secondary age group, and those experiences aren't forgotten. I could hear it in your voice. Those children will have talked fondly about those memories and those experiences, and it's just, I think it would be catastrophic if all of our young people can't access that because we lose facilities during this period.
Where can we find more out about your campaign? Where are you on social media, etc.?
Basically, if you do a search on Save Outdoor Ed, we're all across Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. You will find stories there. We're appealing for MPs to join the all-party parliamentary group on outdoor learning. And if people can write to their MP to put that pressure on, that would be fabulous.
If it does remain that you can't reopen until Easter, what's the future for Mount Cook Adventure Centre? Are you worried, or will you survive, Steve?
We will survive. We're fortunate. We've got some very good supporters and stakeholders, and we will be here in the future. But we're just concerned that the impact that this is going to have on what we believe is a right for all children across the country, because some centres are not as fortunate as us, and they won't survive this. This continued lockdown without financial support, it really could damage that access to this opportunity.
Steve, great to talk to you this afternoon. That's Steve Turner, the CEO from Mount Cook Adventure Centre. We have asked the Department for Education for a statement on outdoor education, but as of yet, we haven't heard back from them. And of course, you can show your support, as Steve has just been telling you, where you can find them across all social media platforms.